First of all, I want to apologize because this video might be a little long. I don't know how I will edit it or how much I will rant in this video, but please bear with me. I really love this game a lot and I really want it to be successful and live longer than it is now and have more influence and be more popular. I'm not saying people are quitting from this game. People probably are, but what I'm trying to say is I'm receiving a lot of comments from new players and returning players, and I would love this game to be more successful than it is currently right now. I need more people to watch my videos because freaking Yu-Gi-Oh is having more views than Dragon Raja right now. I'm kidding, but you get what I meant. But I hope I've cleared that up. Let's return to the topic at hand. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Dragon Raja, what I believe as a content creator and a player that can be done to the game to make things a lot better. Now, first thing I want to say, because I'm probably guessing some people that have played the game might watch this video again, I'm honestly personally hoping that the developers will see this and actually take it into account. I've been asked a lot, or sometimes talk with some of the devs about what can be done to make the game better, and I love the fact that they do ask me these questions. They do ask these questions and they care about these things. And I did mention a lot of things. I'm sure they've asked other creators as well, so nothing special there. But I was super happy that they took into account one of the things I asked for. That was the Dragon Rider class, a class with a spear or a lance. I really loved classes or love classes like that. So they did take that into account, so definitely they do listen. Now, what I'm going to be talking about in this video isn't going to try and demean the entire game or say that the game isn't good or anything. The Dragon Raja is great, especially now that you'll be very hard pressed to actually find an MMO that is as good as Dragon Raja. Most MMOs released now are just copy paster and very heavy cash grabs. Not that great, but it's quite difficult to find a game or an MMO that has the graphics and stuffs of Dragon Raja. Heck, I'm playing on an emulator right now on PC, but the graphics still looks amazing. So I guess that brings us to the first topic I want to talk about, the things that attract me to MMOs or in MMOs. The very first thing that attracts me to an MMO is the graphic. Let's be honest, that's what we're going to be looking at most of the time. So the graphic is very important. It has to be great, and Dragon Raja has that absolutely covered. I don't know if I'm doing this justice by using an emulator to show the gameplay and all this stuff, but the game is amazing. That was the first thing I saw, but let's move on to the second thing that grabs my attention in MMOs. That will be the combat. The first is the graphics, the second is the combat, and the combat of this game I think is the best in any MMO I've played so far. And that's saying a lot because I've played quite a lot of MMOs. The ability to move around, to strategize in your combat and everything is amazing, and that was one of the things that made me love the game. Although I do not like the fact that the open world isn't fully open. It's instanced. It's an instanced open world game, which kind of sucks sometimes, but still the graphics, the combat, and this instanced open world kind of turned me a little off, but the other two things dragged me into this game. So graphics, check. Combat, check. And story, no, it doesn't check in that. I'm gonna be honest, the Dragon Raja story isn't that great. It can be improved upon. That's one big thing I can say that they should make better in Dragon Raja. The story kind of sucked at one point where all we had to do was buy milk or run errands and stuff. It feels like we are actually the background character in our own story, and I understand because in the movie, or rather the anime and the novel, there's actually the main character, which I think is Luminous. So we are actually literally the side character in this one. So if you're coming to this game and thinking about that, I don't think they can really change this, except they want to deviate from the books, which I have no issues with, whatever decision they choose, because story is literally the last on my list out of the three things I love. Now, what is the main problem with Dragon Raja? The main problem is the pay to win. I am not saying that they should actually remove every pay to win stuff, but I'm saying there's too much pay to win, and this directly ties to the combat, which is what a lot of the players in Dragon Raja enjoy. Granted, there are other people that do not really bother or care much with combat. I will get to that later and how that can be improved as well for those players. But first, let's talk about combat because this is the most important one, and I think it's the main thing that makes a lot of people leave Dragon Raja for another game, or just decide to go off of MMOs and play games like Genshin and the others, because you don't have to struggle with fighting other people and stuff. Now, in Dragon Rancher, we do have combat system, that's rating, and rating is very important because it is kind of tied to your stats, which directly affect your PvP and stuff. This is great and all because it helps you in strategizing, building your character, and building it in reference to the particular class you are using, and I love that. But the problem is we also have wardrobe or cosmetics in this game, which are beautiful and great to look at. We have the outfits that are amazing, and there's quite a lot of them. You get what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of stuff you can use in this game. But the problem with this is these outfits also give rating, and this rating also comes to affect you over here sometimes. Now, that's not all. The main issue with all this is we have motto right here, and some mottos, I'm gonna search for it real quick, give me a minute, like this one, the planetarium rather, they give you special things called draconic, and draconics are a very big impact. They have very big impact in PvP, because literally this one gives you vulnerability to damage for 12 seconds, and 12 seconds is a lot. It is a lot. At the beginning, draconics didn't seem like much in this game because the ratings wasn't really crazy, but as people got into the hundreds of thousands and then into the millions of rating, it's crazy. That draconic alone can deal hundreds of thousands to millions of damage. And that's not all. They then introduced something called fusion, which is another form of draconic, like dragon shines, that are just way better than normal draconics and way more powerful than most draconics. So I'm not going to talk too much, but what I'm trying to get at is that if you want to make cosmetics, fine, go ahead, make cosmetics. But if you want to retain most of your player base, which are definitely the free-to-plays, because the whales will probably still keep playing, but to be honest, whales get fun from fighting and destroying free-to-plays and fighting other whales occasionally. And the problem is, going into PvP and getting one-shotted, yes, now you can get one-shotted even having millions of health. I have 153 million health, and all of these can be removed in a single hit by an opponent. To give you a reference or a place to check from all of this, I am 3 million rating and this is 8.5 million rating. This is crazy. The difference is way too much. So how can you fix this since this issue is already here? You can leave all these things, the cosmetics that are giving you rating, the mottos that are giving you ratings, the fusions that have all those powerful things. Leave all of them. Keep making them. It's alright. You've already started. And of course, I know you need money and stuff to maintain the game and all that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is make PvP balanced. Okay, there was something that was released earlier, NetherRealm PvP, and it was amazing because everything was balanced. Everybody started at the same rating, be it 100,000, a million, or whatever. We all started at the same rating. Our stats was accurately distributed for our class used in that event, and things like dragon shines and fusions and draconics were negated, they were not used in that event. This game has gotten to the point where someone's kid can literally kill you. I have died to someone's kid. They weren't attacking at all. Their kid was the one just shooting at me once in a while, and I died to that. That's how great the power difference is. It's gotten to the point now that most people don't want to play PvP, or specifically training arena, which is one of the most fun PvP in this game. Most people don't want to play Ladder of Honor anymore. Most people just go AFK in White Emperor Palace. I personally haven't played arena in like about a month or so. I mean, it gets to a point where no matter the skill you use or try to use in PvP, the rating difference is just so high that no matter what, imagine you dodge almost all your opponent's attacks, and all you can do is probably reduce their health to like a minuscule amount, and all they need is just to hit you once and you're dead, regardless of the class you use. Bruh. And even if you use the assassin to get into your crystal coffin to protect yourself and all that stuff, they have a fusion dragon shine that can hit through your immunity. So immunity isn't really immune anymore. To keep your player base, to keep the whales, you really need to keep the free-to-plays. Both of them are your player base. I advise that they make PvP balanced. At the start of this game, trust me, it was a lot more fun than it is now. And some of the new classes are just so powerful that the power system is absolutely null and void. So that brings me to the next topic. Please stop making overpowered classes. We already have about 16 classes in this game, and they are all getting more and more overpowered, and the older classes are just getting power crept and dumped behind. It is ridiculous. I'm not saying you shouldn't make new classes, but new classes are definitely welcome. But right, I'm using the gunslinger right now, and can you believe I can only use the gunslinger in PvE? I can't even drag this into PvP because I would get absolutely demolished. And this was the most powerful DPS class in the game before. Now it's reduced to just a PvE class game. It's ridiculous. I have classes like the Dragon Rider. Even if they are the same rating as a gunslinger, the gunslinger has absolutely no chance of defeating the Dragon Rider most time. Try to make them balance. I know there's probably no way you can do that fully, but start by not giving them a 1-hit kill skill. That would be great. So we've talked about the PvP, we've talked about the gacha system making things crazy. Also, this reminds me, the classes being imbalanced is probably an effect of this game being part gacha. But that being said, this isn't like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail or Wuthering Waves or Solo Leveling that there is no actual PvP. This is an MMORPG, not just an RPG and stuff. A lot of people will just be using one class, and everyone will get tired of saying that one class or facing that one class, and it's just going to be very, very boring for a lot of people, especially if they do not like using that class. Now let's talk about the PvE system of this game, because I've already talked about the PvP and all that stuff, and there are some people that do not really care about PvP or do not even really want to bother with PvP aspect in this game. All they care about is the PvE. Now, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of activities in PvE, and I'm not exactly sure how they can improve upon that, because this is an MMO and it has the gacha aspect. That means there's a lot of things that's going to be encouraging you to come back daily, to keep doing things, and it's just going to end up being repetitive, and a lot of people are going to be like, I don't like doing this, it's repetitive and stuff. I think that's something that's definitely going to happen, but I feel if you as a player are feeling like things are quite repetitive in this game, maybe take a break. Maybe just come online and put yourself on auto for the dailies. You can actually put yourself on auto for dailies like I was throughout the beginning of this video. Now they can try to do things that will make people or make the social aspect of this game a lot more fun. Maybe they could bring an event for, let's say, Thanksgiving. You have to find the turkeys hiding in Tokyo. So this is going to encourage a lot of people to actually just come around and join hands, search Tokyo to find the exact turkeys that are hidden anywhere, because Tokyo is actually kind of huge and it just feels like an empty open world. Be honest, if you are above the level 150 or 200, when was the last time you actually came into Tokyo like this and just walked around and looked around? When was the last time you actually did this? I'm just saying. So it's been, after I did the Adam quest and most of the other quests, it's been a while since I actually just flew around like this. It's been a while. They could also, speaking about flying around, they could bring a quest or a PvE quest that requires you to glide or dash in the air through rings, like how Wuthering Waves have all those, there are rings that could fly through. That is an event they could bring up. You could fly through 15 rings. Your rewards will be based on how many rings you flew through with a maximum number of rings and all those kind of stuff. There are a lot of things they could do for the PvE aspect of this game, in my opinion, that would make things a lot more fun. That being said, there are still some people that complain about the dungeon, that it can be a little boring and stuff. I am not a game developer. I cannot really talk much about that and the mechanics that can be added to the dungeons. To be honest, I do not enjoy the dungeons. I feel that the dungeons are kind of boring. No offense. At the beginning, the dungeons were very fun. I remember all the strategies we had to use and stuff. But I guess maybe now people are just so powerful and stuff that the dungeon is just more of a drag. And we just want the gears. Most times I actually just buy my gears with gems, actually with diamonds, than play the dungeons. So dungeons might be done to be made better, but I'm not going to talk about that. If you have any suggestions about that, you can drop in the comment section, and I really appreciate that. I hope some developers look at this video. The video might be too long, and I apologize for that. Now to sum up most things, here's what I'm going to be saying. You can see people are dueling in Castle College. People have fun dueling. That's one of the most fun parts in this game. The duelings, you can have duels almost anywhere. You can do so many things. You can cook and all of that stuff. It's super crazy and it's fun. I remember the earlier parts of this game where we all tried learning the different recipes, secret recipes for each of these cuisines right here. We tried learning each of them, and it was amazing actually trying to learn all these recipes and going through various things. Heck, I still haven't learned some of them. So you get what I'm trying to say. This game is amazing. People love it. I love it personally, and I think I'm gonna keep playing it for a long time. So balance the classes, let them be okay with each other. Make PvP balanced as well. Whales and super strong players can have all their dragon shines and draconics and crazy strong pets and everything in PvE. They can have it in PvE, but let PvP be a balanced zone, because that is one of the main reasons why players become inactive in PvP, which will lead to them playing the game a lot less, and slowly with time they will lose interest and then just stop logging in. It has happened to me a lot. I keep coming back mainly because I make content on this game and people keep asking for more videos, so I come back to not disappoint them. And I also just love Dragon Raja. So please guys, just do this for me, okay? Make PvP balanced. Make some fun PvE events like I mentioned. And I know the story section might be difficult to fit, but if you can, just make the story a lot better and do some advertisements for the stories and stuff to let people know that you've improved on the story. And we're gonna come back and play the game, play the story, do the special quest and all of that. Heck, I haven't even gone into my town for ages. I haven't been here for like I don't even know how long. So anyway, that's what I'm just trying to say. PvP should be balanced and a lot of things will be fun. I'm just repeating myself now and I don't want to do that, but thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What can be done to make this game a lot more fun, a lot more engaging for the free-to-plays and the pay-to-wins? But that's my 2 cents. Sorry for the video being long again. I apologize. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. And again, take it easy guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.